Alrighty, ladies and gents, if you like back and forth, crazy, competitive Age of Empires games, it's exactly what you have here, okay? This is Random Civ on Arabia. You've got Slam here playing as the Vikings. We'll talk about the bonuses if you don't already know. And then in the red, as Song Song says, hi, boy, Song Song, who featured in a lot of games recently. Very good player from Vietnam. In fact, these guys play each other quite a bit. Slam is no stranger of playing the Vietnamese because I believe he's the only pro who is on like the West Coast time zone, like West what's it, Pacific time zone. I think he's the only pro that's in that time zone. And so when he gets on, he's also a bit of a night owl in the evening. It's like 9 or 10 p.m. for people in my time zone, and then people in Europe are asleep. And he runs into a lot of the Vietnamese guys, like Song Song, like Bact, like Huang, and ACCM. So anyways, you didn't really need to know all that, but we've got Vikings versus Hindustanis here. So let me go down my mental list of Civ bonuses to think about. Recently, the Indian expansion came out, which changed the Indians to the Hindustanis, and there were a few tweaks. And then there's 3 new Indian civilizations. So when I think Hindustanis, I think old Indians with a couple reworks. They now get access to full stable blacksmith upgrades. So that's actually very strong for them. Before they used to have extra pierce armor on their camels and on their scout line. They don't have that anymore, but they do have those researches. Their villagers are still very cheap. They now, I think, are stronger and more well-rounded because they have the Ghulam. And the Ghulam is a unique unit, which is rather cheap and counters archers. I think the devs, like, I like the addition of the Ghulam because the Elephant Archer was always a little clunky and awkward for the Indians before. But they made a civilization which I think was possibly already top 10 Arabia even stronger, folks. So keep an eye out on the Hindustanis. If you have archers, they can go for full upgrades on skirmishers, or the Hindustanis could go for the Ghulam. If you go for knights, they have the best camels in the game, because they can go all the way up to the Imperial camel. What else would you go for? If you go for skirmishers, they can go for hussars, and that's pretty good there. And if you go for, I'll go down the list. What else would you make? Let's say Halbs. You make some pointy boys, which could be fairly strong. They then get hand cannons that don't have +1 range anymore. They get +2 range. They outrange Arbalest, those hand cannons. You're probably like, okay, dude, can you talk about the Vikings? Can we give the Vikings some love, please? I'll give the Vikings some love. First off, this base is amazing. This base is incredible. Talk about map packs. You've got the gold. You've got the berries. With a wall here, which Slam is working on, and a wall this way, Slam will have every single resource except for stone. And he knows that. He's just sitting at home and playing pretty greedy right now. And you see a map like that, you're definitely going to want to play defensive. But the Vikings get wheelbarrow for free in Feudal. They then get handcart for free in Castle, so they have one of the best economies in the game for land maps. That alone is a reason to play defensive. You don't want to lose villagers because you have all that good stuff coming to you, right? And they're a good archer civilization, not as great as they used to be. They do lack thumb ring now, which hurts their archers later, but the elite berserk is a strong option. So we'll see if maybe that comes out, but I would say there's less you can do with Vikings. Like, your stable options are kind of meh. You don't really want to be making any horse units. Normally, it's archers, economy, and then a switch to infantry and siege later on. Yeah, this map is incredible, and I feel like every time I cast, I'm seeing people with better maps than me. It's either that or maybe I'm just a worse player. I don't know. Like, technically, so this is what I like about Age of Empires. So this is not good for Slam, right? So right now, his opening map is incredible, but he's going to have to get map control. Okay, Song Song takes a hit. Because Song Song's got better golds for the long term. Anyway, Song Song cheaper vills, saves some food, probably sees this now, and probably sees the scout from Slam, and is like, what on earth is happening here? Why is Slam scout here? I'm playing the game, and I'm trying to scout Slam, and Slam is still sitting at home. And this is the rare, and we'll see if it's successful, fast castle play. Also, I want to say hi to Soxy. What's up, Soxy? Glad you can make it, man. Soxy, how long have we known each other? Like, when's the first time? It probably was in a chat. I don't know if we were always at, like, the same level, gameplay-wise. How long has it been? Soxy, oh, shoot, I should know this. I think he's from Australia, not New Zealand. One of the many Aussie viewers out there, but I've known Soxy for a while. Very good player as well. I think you're, what, around 2K? Do you hit 2K1 yet? Song's like, okay, so this guy is full wall, and he's still in Dark Age. And at this stage, you should be thinking, well, I don't see a barracks. I just see walls, and he kept his scout at home, so this might be Fast Castle. And honestly, really good play from Song. I probably would have added the stable anyways. But he deems that as a waste of food. And so he's not even going to add the stable. He was originally going to go Scout Rush. And now he's just going to wall up. Obviously, he'd have a lot more to do here to full wall it, but he's just going to get the farm upgrade, the wood upgrade, and add as many farms as possible. And thankfully, the villagers are cheaper. Look at this. Slam just staring him down. Like, hey, stop hitting my wall. There's the barracks for Slam. 2K2 at the moment? Been lazy with playing games, though? Dude, you are like... You are, and I mean this in a good way, you're always kind of lazy with how you play. You're like, oh, I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it anyways. And you're still 2K2? That's insane. I don't talk much on your streams because it's normally like 2 or 3 a.m. for me when you get online, but it's always one that I will bring up if I can. Anyways, I've been doing this for a long time, so it means a lot, especially soon-ish after a platform switch, to have you hanging out here, so. Okay, now Slam, when he hits Feudal Age, is going to get extra speed and attack. And now, there could be a spearman or something coming. He doesn't know, but he's going to try and attack this thing, because he would win the Scout War. And, at this point, Song definitely knows he's going Fast Castle. Which you used to see more back in the day with Vikings. Nowadays, I feel like, because we don't have maps like this, people don't go Fast Castle. But also, a good reason to not go Fast Castle is because the faster you are to Feudal, the faster you take advantage of free wheelbarrow. So here's Song. 550 food. The food count's actually the same. And I'm very impressed with how Song has played this so far. I don't know why Slam isn't fighting this. I did watch portions of this game, and I remember staring at this and being very confused. I don't understand. And now Song just runs away. He's like, I'm out of here. Can anyone explain that to me? Because I still don't know. I'm going to assume he had his scout on no attack stance and misclicked it? I mean, two things had to go wrong there. It's also possible that maybe he didn't remember that Song had the weak scout. Maybe it was like the first game of the day for Slam or something. But anyway, Slam's going to go crossbowman here. Very clean Fast Castle time. We've got Song going for a blacksmith and a market, so he hasn't really decided on what military building he wants to make yet. Chupta, I don't think I will... I think I need to wait another year before I play Soxy. I think last year we played a 1v1 Mega Random game, and we played on until there were no trees on the map. Like, genuinely, no trees. And I think we both had, like, a ball of 50 Mangadai, and it was a stalemate. It was also a game where I said, I'll play one more and then go to bed. And so I was up till like 2 or 3 a.m. And I honestly, I can't even think about playing Soxy without getting PTSD. Like, I just can't. I need another year, and then maybe we can do that. It was so painful. Especially because I should have won earlier. I don't know how much Soxy remembers, but... Slam's eco is looking tasty right now. It's looking good. And look at Song. Song's over here like, hey... What do you got there? And he's just waiting. This is so good. This is so important. Because you notice he doesn't have a stable. And that wouldn't be particularly good here anyways, to go for a stable. And he doesn't have an archer range. And Slam's also looking. This is so good for both of them to use their scout. The unit that the majority of players lose to a town center 7 minutes in. Because they forgot to look at it. High-level Age of Empires is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And so look at Song's resources. I mean, he's ready to boom, right? He's ready to boom, and he knows this pressure is going to come in. Hold on, was there a signal there? Song signaled it. Song signaled it, which makes this so much better. I don't know. Now, that could have been a misclick, but they know each other well. At the start, he said, hi, boy, and Slam just said yes. Slam wasn't really in the mood, but he signals this like, hey, I know you have that. And then immediately after the signal, so I'll make the noise. Wang. That's the signal noise since we didn't have it in Capture Age. Slam's going to hop out here and try and kill the scout. That's funny. I'm really glad I double-checked that. And look at Song. He moves away. He's like, aha. I knew what you were doing this whole time. That's cheeky, man. That is super cheeky. Okay, so, you know, Scout's just passing. Like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? And the Scout's going to run home. And Song's about to hit Castle Age. So let's see what he wants to do here. TC positions are really important. Opens up with the Siege Workshop. Makes sense. Drops a TC here. Also makes sense. Going to drop a TC here as well. So you're thinking Woodlines are the most vulnerable, and then Palisade Walls are going to go down. Slam played defense before. Now he's playing offense. Song says it's my turn to play defense. He's going to go for Scorpions. Okay, so here comes Slam. God, this is so good. I don't know if I'm just tired right now or what it is, but this game is just so beautiful. Don't lose the Scout. Don't ruin it. I love when the Scouts can be utilized at this stage of the game. It's a beautiful thing. Song and Slam both looking around. Okay, Scout goes down. It's all right. I can understand it. He's got 3 TCs now. And Slam's like, ooh, a Scorpion? I want to kill that. And very well could kill that. Scorpions are kind of meh in this stage, but if you can get the repairs in, it'd be a little better. And look at Slam. He kills the repair villager, runs away. And that is our first and second kill of the game. Slam has yet to kill a unit. But Slam did invest an awful lot, right? So he did go for 2 ranges. Slam, while he does have handcard for free, which is great, now, or is about to have fewer villagers, you would think. Also, I think the most important thing here, and this is all something that Song had to think about, and this is why I'm so pumped to show this to you guys. I talked about the options for the Hindustanis, right? Think about where this TC was. Like, he took a risk to come out and TC the stone, but he knows that Slam's going crossbow, and he doesn't want to make siege for the rest of the game. And those Scorpions do a good job. Slam now goes for TC number 3, which will be on the wood and the stone. 39 villagers a pop. Slam, obviously, with the potential to kill villagers. God, I'm so happy that after all this time I can look at games and just get this excited. I'm sorry if it's weird, okay? This is just so good. Look at this. Slam. He's like, oh, I got to hit the other side now. He runs over. He goes for the kill. Song reacts. Song does have a very slow defense, so he's got to loop around. And this is what I love to watch. I love to watch players who use the mobility of armies to control the game. Watch this from Slam. He's probably thinking, okay, I'm forcing a reaction. He's probably bringing siege. And now he goes back over to the left. And what does Song do? Keeps an eye on it. Leaves a Scorpion. Look at Song. He knows. He knows, guys. He knows there's going to be something. This is so good. He's going to finish this TC now. Slam, I think, will be happy that he delayed that one, though. I got to double check. Slam knew about this one, right? Okay, so he knows it's 4 TCs. And now these units need to leave. Now, what Slam could do is what he's going to do, actually. And, oh, he got rocked there. And he's going to add a few knights. You don't really want to make too many of these things with Vikings because they lack bloodlines, which is an important upgrade. But look at this stable. They also lack the final armor, by the way. But check it out. He's going to send knights in. Right around the time that Song completes his TC. And he's clearly saving up for the Gulams. I still remember the first time I made this unit, which we will see in this game, the Gulam. It looks like a spearman, so I just assumed it was really good against anything on a horse. And, don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a unique unit by its pointiness, I guess, because it's not very good against cavalry. It's mainly good against archers. It's a high pierce armor unit. It's kind of like an Eagle Warrior. So I think a bit very cheap compared to an Eagle Warrior. And the knights pay off there for Slam. Good work from him. And now Song Song's definitely on the back foot. Not in vill count, but in control of the game. Obviously has quite a few idle villagers because of all this. Slam takes out the Scorpion, and this villager is going to venture forward and make some siege, which Song Song will now see. And Song Song should be worried right now. So he's got this area locked down. He's going to drop a castle on the front while he can. And he now has to leave. Might need to consider making a house here just in case Slam goes in. But Slam just... He's trying to do damage. He's trying to maneuver his way into any nook and cranny he can find to kill villagers. Such good unit control for him, though. Also, his worker efficiency is at 84% over the last minute, and it's at 60% for Song Song. So while he doesn't have as many villagers, he certainly has the efficiency. That's handcard for you, and that's also not being hit by anything. Yo, what's up, Shadow Angel? Sorry, guys. Super focused on the game right now, obviously. This is a super good game. We've got 75 villagers for 63, and now we've got the Gulam. And if he were to be so kind to eject one of these things, I would love to click the stats. I think they have very low melee armor. And in my testing with them, I've played with them maybe 5 or 6 times. I think you kind of need to get +2 armor against crossbows. You get 3 pierce armor, right? Is that right? 3 pierce armor doesn't feel like it's that much, you know? Now you've got 5 pierce armor, which means they're doing a little bit of damage. But look at this! Slam! He's going to go for some rams. He loads up the crossbows in the rams. I love this. And he's going to go for the TC. And these villagers are like, yep, I'm out of here. I didn't sign up for this. I'm getting paid minimum wage. In fact, less than that, I'm out of here. And believe it or not, Song Song doesn't lose much here. He lost 1 villager. Meanwhile, he's over here on this stone. There's a Scorpion there protecting. Slam not really thinking about that side, obviously. And now we get to see these Gulams mass. If someone could please, if you have the opportunity, check the cost of the Gulam again. I think it's like 40 food, 20 gold. It's not much, or maybe it's 45, 25. But the big thing here for Slam is going to be his unit mass. And the siege being there is tricky. An 8 base attack. And the fact that your villagers are cheap and your units are cheap is insane. Look at how many Gulams he has queued. And he's got villagers queued out of every TC. And giving this unit to the Hindustanis with the very cheap villagers, when they were already really good, but they didn't have a unique unit which was super viable, makes this civilization even stronger. And it's against Vikings, which is one of the top civilizations on Arabia with their archers and with their eco. Slam's Rams are not going to do it here, but he does know the siege is a problem. So he sacrifices his knights to take out the siege here. I think this has all been worth it for Slam simply because he's been able to do a lot at home. He will soon need to question, though, does he want to make archers in the long run? So I think Slam's just got to be careful. The archers are slower than the Gulams, so he might need to consider getting away. And you're doing 3 damage a hit, though, with the crossbows, which still seems pretty good. It's 30 food, 45 gold. Okay. Okay, so it's a bit more gold costly than I thought. He's going to make a lot of them. We're going to see another castle here for Song Song. Keep in mind, 0 relics have been collected here. Slam. Oh, my goodness. A Slam. This is what I think happened. I think he misclicked his control group or something. Or the anxiety of the situation just got to him. Because he's clearly dodging it. And then I don't know if the knights smelled and the crossbows didn't want to be anywhere near that. But brutal hit there on Slam. And now the Gulams, I mean, I think they were going to clear it anyways. But obviously they're going to clear this now. Like, it's not like, oh, Gulams are OP. No, I mean, Slam lost most of his crossbows to the siege. Shouldn't have even made the freaking Gulams, man. 2 castles, though, for Song Song. He's going to clear this, obviously. Now Slam's thinking, well, let's make a tech switch. Now, I might have missed it. I think Vikings get supplies. Slam hasn't clicked supplies, so I'm just going to say supplies! It's kind of important. We've had 0 relics collected here, but Slam knows exactly what his opponent's going to make. And his opponent is making a unit that would be countered by Champion here. Slam, super unfortunate here. You could say unfortunate, but you make your own luck in this game. And he didn't find these villagers. Now, granted, they've been there a while. But he does get a kill, which might mean the Gulams need to go address that. I think for Song Song, he probably wants to get a raid in. He hasn't been able to touch Slam's base at all. There we have the Imperial Age for Song Song, who has 2 castles. It's going to be very hard for Slam to push. And here are the crossbows now. Again, like, crossbows are decent against them. I don't think going fast castle into Gulam is necessarily a strong strat, but I think booming and then switching into them and then mixing it up with your other options with the Hindustanis can be really good. Slam clearly is worried there, because if you're not worried, you're not going to kill the village. You're just going to kill the Gulams. The Gulams have 8 attack. They're wrecking right now. They are absolutely shredding. Yes. Now, I'm going to guess that was a tech tree pause for Song Song. Again, these changes are recent. So there was a pause for Song Song. Obviously, we're back. And the longswords, they do fairly well. Supplies for Slam. Should have researched that earlier. The units would have been cheaper, but it's all good. Ends up getting a really good trade against the Gulam. And is taking another trade here. But you could also argue that Song Song is getting kills before the units get stronger for Slam. So it depends on how you look at it. Behind this, there's still plenty of Gulams for Song Song. By the way, I played against the Hindustanis as the Incas, and I made a lot of Eagles. The Gulams are really good against Eagles, just saying. I would not recommend. I was Incas, and I had to switch into to Slinger, which saved me. But if you ever get in that situation, definitely want to go for the champion line. Now, prior to a month ago, the Indians had Chittagni, which now the Hindustanis have, because it's like the reworked Indians. And it would give them +1 range on their hand cannons. You also have to keep in mind that hand cannons have been buffed quite a few times over the last year and a half. It's been like 4 different buffs. HP, cost, accuracy, and some other one. And so now Chittagni gets +2 additional range on hand cannons. So you got hand cannons after chemistry as an option. I love how Song Song has used these. Again, very much reminds me of Eagles. He's been raiding a lot. And over the last few minutes, he's killed a few villagers. And he's just controlling the game with how fast he is at the moment, right? Like, the fact that these things are pushing some two-handed swordsmen and he's not hesitating from the fight tells you a lot about this unit. Should you make these against two-handed swordsmen? Probably not. But we're talking Vikings two-handed swordsmen with full armor, and still, he's able to run away now. Okay, big moment in the game. Both players have castles here. Both players know about the castles here. This is huge. I said at the start that this is going to be probably one of the higher level games I brought to the channel in terms of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I love it because we've seen kind of the strengths of the Vikings. We're working up towards champion now, which is an additional strength. And we should see archer ranges somewhere. There they are for Song Song. We're going to see the strength of the Hindustanis as well. Obviously, Hindustanis have more options at the stable we could maybe look towards later. But Vikings do not have bomber cannons, so it's important that they push fast before Song Song can get out with his bomber cannons. Now, a lot of people ask in these situations, like, why not get relics? And you got to realize, like, this type of a push, this can end the game, right? So all your focus is on producing and upgrades and micro in this type of situation. So I don't think this is a game right now that's going to come down to relics based on how it's playing out. It just seems like the focus is going to be on taking out these castles. The Gulam dive here, guys, to take out the Trebuchet. They will fail to do it, but the Gulam break in down here. So Slam is 30 villagers behind. I think Song Song is in overboom mode. You know, you create army, micro army, create villagers, and you just don't realize that you have 140. But still, that's a good raid there. He will lose the Gulam, and now Slam's thinking, okay, I just gotta... Hand cannons aren't good to fight against here, but I've got to fight before he gets Chittagni. I've got to fight before he gets the mass, so I can take out the castles. I like this type of an engagement. I actually... Well, I'm not sure if he should have stayed in there or not. He pulled out probably a decent time, but it's a warning now. Like, alert, alert. Skirmishers or arbalests are needed. Alert, alert. This will be painful. What I don't like about Slam's position is the lack of castles in its base, right? Like, he doesn't have a castle here. Look at Song Song's castles. Defensive, defensive. Defensive, defensive. He did a great job with that. Song Song has 160 vills. He's definitely overboomed. And again, it's probably what I said earlier. No, he's just doing it out of habit at this point. I'm not proud of it, but in a do or die game in Wandering Warriors Cup, I boomed up to 175 villagers in a 200 population game. And then I realized, because I was like, I thought I was winning, and I definitely was winning, and then I had like no military and started to lose. And I'm like, what's happening? And I looked and I was like, oh. So Song Song has hand cannons without the unique tech, but hand cannons still very strong. He lost quite a few of them there, and he's going to take out that castle from Slam. Okay, we now have chemistry for Slam, which is going to help with his ranged units. And he is going to make those ranged units now. But look at the farm count for Song Song. He's so good with expanding his farms, isn't he? 51 farms. And 164 vills. Okay, I think he's deleting vills. Yep. I don't know where the bodies are. But I definitely just watched that go from 160 to 150. So he's aware. Now you get full blacksmith upgrades for your stable units. You do get Hussar if you're Song Song. You don't have any relics brought in. You have to start thinking, what am I going to do? Because hand cannons are pretty costly, right? And now you're seeing the bomber cannons go down. The most costly unit you could make. And until the unique tech comes in, the Arbalest are going to be better than the hand cannons. But I think with 9 range, the hand cannons are actually decent. Champion raid from Slam. The hand cannons are here to shoot them down. But good recovery from Slam. As he goes for a castle here. Now, with a better raiding, like long-term raiding civilization, I think you start to place your castles on the hills on the side of your base. But I think if the game goes on, not having Hussar really hurts you if you're Viking. So I agree with Slam's approach here. Still very much wants to go for the kill. His micro is looking really good here, too. We'll be happy with how many Vill kills he has. Song Song's really distracted back there. And Song Song thinking about switching into skirms, which makes sense. With the fight from Slam here. See the champions engage. That's a good engagement for the champions. The hand cannons obviously are behind this. But now there's no more Hussars, and Slam could continue his push, possibly. Both players still catching up on upgrades. We're talking ranged upgrades. Also attack upgrades for their melee units are needed for both of them. Looks like Song Song has a little bit more in the way of upgrades. And he's got a lot of bit more when it comes to farming right now. But remember, like Vikings, their weakness was never really the like Feudal Age and Castle Age, right? So when they removed Thumb Ring from Vikings, it actually made their post-Imperial Age worse, which I think was kind of an issue for them already, or made their early imp worse. But still with no Thumb Ring, Slam is making this look good. And any time he sees gunpowder, he's like, nope. Nope, not going to do it. Still a little sad we don't see Shitagni yet for Song Song, who's lower on farms than he was a moment ago, so something's happening there, but he's adding more. And the bomber cannons out of nowhere on the left side. I didn't see them. And you get fully upgraded skirms. You get the Gulam. You get the hand cannons. You get the Hussars. You get the Imperial Camel. Hindustanis can do virtually everything. Well, not virtually everything, but they can counter most everything. And they have really cheap villagers. The Song Song is booming back up to 160. Like, Slam needs 70-ish military, and he needs to start to snowball a push right now. Uh-oh. Oh, no, I don't think Song Song noticed this. He's going to lose more bomber cannons. It's so expensive. Now, look at Slam move in here. He's going to lose Arbs in the process, but he's trying his best to take out the hand cannons, and the skirms for Song Song are going to disappear. Wow, what a great fight there for Slam. As now we can move forward with these Trebs. Now, if Vikings run out of gold, they have big problems. Look at this monk. He's like, I'm a peaceful man. I'm just going to church. Nope, not today. Not today, Father. You're dead. You're with the Father now. There's a bombard cannon in here. The pressure's insane from Slam. 55 army versus 34 from Song Song. And now he's got Hussar. So now he could maybe start to raid Slam a little bit. And if you raid Slam, you know, that means Slam probably needs to send some army here instead of some army to the middle. What a sick game, though. What a sick game. Castle's going to go down. The Hussars are going to struggle in the middle because of the castle fire. And then also they'll struggle here, but there's still plenty of openings. Now, I want you to watch the military count. And I want you to watch where military goes. I think, I talk about it all the time. If someone's pressuring you, you pressure them, they have to react, and then suddenly you're better off at home, right? That's what should happen here. Look at Slam! He's making a castle next to the edge of the map. So that tells me that Slam doesn't want to react to it, though. That's actually an interesting choice. He might lose these villagers, but that means he can continue his push. It's not the biggest deal to get Blast Furnace, but I feel like you want to be maxed out at this stage of your Slam. Still doesn't have that, and that would be the same for Song Song. And I guess with enough hand cannons in there, you are always going to be able to take care of those champions. This is an interesting one. It's clearly, like, both players are confident with the fight. Slam's taking it and not leaving it. Song Song's taking it as well. These Hussars still running around, by the way. Will find kills down here. Final armor's coming in for the ranged units for Song Song. It's the skirmishers right now that I'd be worried about if I'm Slam. Still 0 relics collected. At this point, you've got to expect a couple relics to be coming in. And Slam figures, I'd just go for some elite skirm of my own. Champions, obviously the key. He's got a lot of them in queue. I think maybe he needs more barracks. Does he have... He only has 4 barracks. I really think if Slam had like 8 barracks, he'd be at 200 pop right now. Compare that to Song Song. Song Song's got 7 stables. Make that, well, a lot more. He's going to have 11 stables. Has a bomber cannon in here, though, and the champion arbalest play is still working for Slam, but he has run out of gold. I don't think he has any gold income. He's looking right now, and this is probably where you'll see Slam getting relics. And he's got one now, yeah, so maybe he could have come in a bit earlier, but still not bad. I think going for pikemen, at least the pikeman upgrade would make sense here because the writing's on the wall at this point that the gold count's going to be low. What a sick game, though, guys. It's like Slam's trying to kill, but Song Song has expanded all around the map and has so much economy, right? And I would feel comfortable taking continuous fights with just Hussars. It only costs food. You're against double gold unit. What a position. What a position. That was such a sick fight. He got in between everything. And Hussars, I mean, some players will say it's the best unit in the freaking game, guys. I mean, per the cost and what you can do with it. 7 base attack, 95 HP, tons of armor. Look at that fight. Oh, man. And Slam, yes, he's got that relic, but he does not have 1,300 gold in the bank or 1,000 gold in the bank. He doesn't have control of more gold. And he doesn't have the versatility of the Hindustanis. We have seen it all in this game. That's kind of funny. Champion in the corner. Oh, the monk! That's funny. The monk goes down to revenge for that monk kill from earlier. Yeah, like we saw the Gulam. We saw hand cannons. We saw the skirms. We've seen the Hussars. We actually have seen a camel. That's probably a misclick, but there is a camel out there. So, hasn't been too beneficial, obviously, but have to see what the Hindustanis are made of here. Vikings definitely need to take their advantages earlier in the game. In most Civ matchups, in this one in particular, Slam seems to be slipping, but he's got another go in him here. He's got 2 relics now. That's giving him the gold trickle. And I think, I mean, the middle hill's the most important thing, right? He's about to get relic number 3. I'm going to try his best to use skirms against skirms, but it's an awkward situation. But actually, not a lot of hand cannons here for Song Song. But for the first time, we are going to see Song Song switch positions and check over here. Slam doesn't have a lot to defend that. And easy enough for Song Song to just fall back. Slam hoping to raid with champions and pikemen. Not something you see every day, but having some success there. 60 on food now for Slam. He's got 30 pikes in queue. He's going to start to lose villagers, but it looks like he knows that. He saw the Hussars attacking his house, so he's sending units over here already. How many barracks does Slam have? Okay, he's got 8, which is much better than before. Thumb Ring now coming in. Thumb Ring does have a minor impact on the skirmishers, so it makes sense to make it. And we have Slam now selling food to get more gold, just to get full upgrades. Didn't have the final armor on his ranged units. I don't think that had the biggest effect. It's not like it helps you survive skirm shots that much. At least I don't think it does. I like this from Slam, because, like, I mean, what else are you going to raid with? You don't want to make Lycav with Vikings. It's very weak. But the raids are starting to add up a little bit. At the same time, Song Song's massing the main army right here in the middle. And it's just skirms and it's just pikemen. For Slam. So without champions, the skirms for Song Song are going to do a really good job. And if the Hussars are able to engage against the skirms from Slam, it could be trouble. It's much easier to micro the army composition for Song Song. Kind of bait some shots with the Hussars and keep running back. Just like this. This is perfect. Couple raids here for Song Song. Looks like he's making archer ranges here. Slam will see that. Slam's still trying to raid on this side. Slam now fortified walling. That slob much? Big attack round there for Song Song on the skirms. He's got 5 bombard cannons. Make it 6. Slam desperately trying to use his trebuchets to hit the bombard cannons from range. I think he knows that he can't really dive in to kill those if the skirms are next to it. And so he's trying and hoping his trebs will be enough, but it's not going to be enough. Look at him. He's got a few more here. Another treb's going to go down for Slam. Such great play here from Song Song. Can he get the next one? Did he get it? I think he killed it. I actually can't tell. I don't see anything rolling around, so I'm pretty sure it's dead. See the blinking. Slam had lost some of his villagers here. The population's 200 for Song Song. He doesn't have 150 villagers anymore. He's at 120, leaving 80 population space. And he's just killing the Vikings with skirms and bombard cannon. Which, quite honestly, is impossible. Well, not impossible, but really tough for the Vikings to deal with at this stage. If you make champions, you're okay. Champions do cost gold. And, of course, Hussars trade reasonably well against champions. And Song Song could always mix in a few hand cannons, which we talked about. I think unit production hurts Slam this game. Like, getting conscription now, which helps you produce units faster, is a clear sign that was an issue. Also, earlier we talked about the lack of barracks for Slam, at least compared to Song Song's units or buildings. Song Song is just... he's really improved as a player, man. I mean, look at how he expands. Also, we've got an armored elephant. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Trying to take out those barracks. Feels like Slam is one bad engagement away from losing this game. He now doesn't have anything in the middle to defend himself. He's about to lose all of his buildings. The army value for Song Song is so much higher, so much more effective. Again, I agree with that castle from Slam instead of the castles in the corners, because the longer this game goes on, you're probably in trouble. But his opportunity slowly disappeared, and we saw virtually everything from the Hindustanis here. And what a game! What a game. Slam probably can't believe it. He's like, Song Song? That Song Song hasn't been a great player for the last year or two, but he's stepped it up recently. 140 population for Slam. His units are still being queued. He's probably going to start to lose other areas too, which he'll realize. But I mean, if you can't kill skirmishers at this stage of the game, the only thing you're really fighting on for is maybe to secure the relics. He's hoping that a wave of champions could probably do it. But what I would do is I would just use this gold to make 5 to 10 hand cannons. However much that pays for. Just instead of skirms, just make hand cannons. And I don't think you really need that many. 90 army. Slam doesn't want to call it. Slam's like, I'm going to give T90 a lot of time to sum up this cast, because I know he needs it. I'm not really sure what I could use this time for, except to say, look, a monk. Look, the monk is walking by a woodline and a wall. I think Slam's gather point for these barracks are set at his base, by the way. I could be wrong on that, but the way they're walking, it must be due to the stress of the situation. What a great game. The monastery's going to go down. Like I said, Slam's thinking I got one more relic, so I have more gold income than him. Maybe that's going to be enough. Maybe a wave of champions can do it. Champions are dying to skirmishers. And of course they're going to die with Hussars being in the mix. And yeah, Slam, it's time to call it. Time to tap out. Time to call the GG. 57 farmers looks good. 140 pop does not. Song Song slowly grinding him down here. My favorite part about this game is probably how Song Song was able to utilize his different options. You could say that, you know, maybe against other civilizations, we even see the camels involved. But we saw the cheap vills with the overboom. We saw the gulam. We saw the hussars. We saw the skirmishers. We saw the hand cannons, bomber cannons. Hindustanis are no joke. Now, I really wonder how this game would have gone if Slam didn't take that massive shot to his crossbows here. Like, if he had a bigger ball of crossbows when he made it to Imp, he then goes into Arbalest, which is good against early hand cannon. He then maybe has more Arbalest with his champions. I mean, he took some good fights, right? He took out some castles. He pushed this area of Song Song's base. If he would have had 20 or 30 more units there, I think it would have made a difference. But then again, it's tricky because the Gulams were out and about before he was up. He was making a full champion tech switch. He was pretty open there. But I saw this game. I was like, man, what's that back and forth? Like, that's what you want in a good Age of Empires game. You want to talk about interesting things in every age and have different army compositions. That's precisely what we got. Probably the first time I've seen a fast castle in Arabia all year. And then the way Song Song dealt with that was really, really good. I would have just died to the crossbows in early Castle Age. Not be able to survive. More food and more wood there collected for Song Song. Also a little bit more stone. Did have less gold than Slam, which is interesting. You could see the uptimes are all very competitive. The scouting was competitive too. The APM. What do we got here? Boom. Apparently Song Song's slightly faster. I don't know what the crap he was doing here. And, you know, you have to take every little bit of statistics on this screen or statistic on this screen with a grain of salt. Like, I don't think he was doing 241 things in that minute. That could have been him, like, using the scroll wheel as a hotkey, for example. But yeah, both players pretty fast, both players pretty speedy, and good stuff. So, I don't know what this says. Like, does this confirm my point of view that I think Hindustanis are better than what Indians were? I'm not too sure. Maybe what this says is that Vikings, it also confirms that Vikings maybe need to be, they need to be faster to finish off the game in the early stages of the Imperial Age. Not having Thumb Ring does hurt your Arbalest. Switching into champions obviously is great, but that's pretty much your only option. Maybe needed Rams there for your Slammer. Maybe needed to make sure he kept his Trebs alive. T90, have you ever been cheap? Have I ever been cheap? What's that supposed to mean? Like a cheap date? Do I want to know what that means? Have I ever been cheap? Have I ever been cheated? Have I ever been... Was that a mistype? Hey, Roman, I agree. I think Hindustanis are definitely top 3. Well, I don't know if I could say they're top 3 in 1v1s right now, but I think they're top... Oh, I'd have to make a list. I'd honestly have to make a list. I think... Yeah, maybe top 3. Okay, they're at least top 5 for me. They're at least top 5. I think they have very few poor matchups. So it still could be a little awkward, I think, against, like, Aztecs or Mayans. But, I mean, they're so much better now. Like, if they go Gulam against Mayans... Actually, I take that back. If they go Gulams against Mayans... I mean, Elite Plumed Archer is still really strong, but they're not near as vulnerable as they used to be. Yeah, at the very least, they're top 42. We have 42 civs, so we can confirm that much.